Welcome to the Compliance Resource Network demo. You will all receive a reminder of your login information via email and a link to the actual URL to arrive at this product page. Once you have logged in, you will arrive at what is called the landing page that you see here. On the left-hand side is a browse tree of content that you are subscribed to. By expanding the various headings, you will see a number of subheadings of the various content news publications that are featured. For the purpose of this demonstration, I will not be going into each heading to expose all of the content. However, the information buttons beside each heading quite quickly gives you an overview of the content that is featured underneath that particular node. I will also be sending out an information sheet of all of the information that we cover and all of the content and publications that are covered under your subscription. So if I was to start by browsing through one of the content nodes here, I'll expand exchanges and SROs, and under here you will see a list of the various exchanges that features within this product. If I was to go to a Finra and expand the content there, you will see that we feature the Finra manual, various disciplinary decisions, interpretations, etc. At this point, I can keep expanding the browse tree to find a particular rule, document, or publication. By expanding the Finra rules, I can narrow down quite quickly, down to document level, a specific rule, as you can see here. Once I have arrived at a document level, I can do various things with this particular document. I can choose to print the actual document as a Word or a PDF document. I can choose to save the document as a PDF or a Word document, or even a link to the actual document itself. I can also choose to add a note to this document or highlight a specific piece of information. So if I click on the Add Notes or Highlights part, you can see I can add a note to the entire document. I can select a specific piece of the document and add a coloured highlight, which you can see there. And I can add a note to this particular highlighted piece, read this, and hit save. This highlighted piece of text and note that's associated with the document will remain there every time that you log in and log out. It is associated with your particular login ID. I can also choose to send this particular document to what is called a document tray. So if I click on Send to Tray, what this actually does is it sends this particular publication to a clipboard, a temporary clipboard. And every time I log in and log out, the clipboard is emptied. The purpose of this is to, as you're researching and carrying out searches and looking at various publications, anything that you find of interest, you can continuously send to the document tray to then action further at the end of your session. So I will return back to the document tray later in the demo. I can also choose to carry out an extensive search across all my content on the left-hand side. As you can see, the search bar is featured at the top, works exactly like Google with all the Boolean terms. I can choose to search all the content, or I can choose a particular heading or subheading. I can choose one or more of these headings. I can go down to a subheading and just check and uncheck a particular section or exchange. So at this point, I will choose to search the entire exchanges and SROs. Carry out a search term and hit go. Here you can see it has returned 173 results for this particular search term. Again, I have several options at this point with my search results. I can choose to sort by relevance or most recent. I can choose to group my search results by document type. When I check this box here, you will see that all of the results have been grouped by these particular headings: regulations, research aids, and agency materials. And there would be other options if the results featured in, for example, laws or interpretations. I can quite quickly jump to these particular headings by clicking on the actual heading, and it takes me down to just the agency materials, for example. Or I can choose to narrow the results on the left-hand pane by document type, by library, and these are the libraries that it falls under, or by jurisdiction. And here I get if the results had featured within particular states, they would have showed up here in this section. I can also choose to search within my search results. So back to the top of the page, there is a section that says search within results. And what this does is it allows you to do a further search within the 173 results that have shown up. I can also go to what is called an advanced search. And I can choose to search the exact same search term, but with a specific date, for example. So I could choose to show me anything for this year only. And as you can see, the results have now come down to 30. I can at this point go into each publication individually, read the publication, again, choose to save, email, print, add the notes or highlights. Or I can even just choose to select one or more of the various publications in the results that are of interest, and again, send to the tray to work with later on in the session. All of the features that I've carried out or functions that I've carried out so far open up a new tab at the top of my window. So if you see here, here's my second search within results, here's my initial search, and there is my browse tree that I started with. These tabs stay open for the remainder of the session that you're logged in. Once you log out, those tabs then disappear. If I now go into my document tray, you're able to see here various documents that I sent to the tray during my search, during my browsing. And at this point, I'm able to do a couple of things. I'm able to check one or more or all and either save as a PDF, as a Word, or even email the selected publications to a colleague. I can also choose to print as a PDF or Word or as a list. So if I choose to select as a PDF or a Word document, it doesn't just print the actual headings, it prints the entire publication itself, and each publication is appended to the other if I've chosen one or more to print. If I choose to print as a list, it simply prints what you see on the screen, which is a list of the headings of the publications. If I chose to email these particular publications, if I click on Email Selected, this gives me an option to add address. I can type in a message, and then I can choose to send the documents that I've selected as a link within the email, an attached PDF of the full publication, or even to be included as a text within the body of the email. The user that you choose to email the documents to does not need to have a subscription to CRM to view the documents. Also, at the document tray feature, I'm able to move these particular documents to what is called a research folder. And a research folder works like a My Documents on your PC or laptop. So you're able to create one or more folders related to a topic or a search, or even just give it a date. So I'm going to create a new folder, give it a name, click OK. And as you can see, these publications have now disappeared from my document tray. And where they have gone to is my research folders section. And up here in the top left-hand corner, you can see research folders. This has now opened another tab at the top of my page. Here on the left-hand side, you can see the folder that I've just created. And if I click on that, you can see the documents that I've just moved to this particular folder. I can now give permission to my colleagues who only have a subscription, not those who do not have a subscription, to have access to this particular folder that I have created with the documents inside it. I can click on Share with Colleagues and choose to share with all of the colleagues within the Finra subscription base, or with selected colleagues, in which case it would give me a list of the various names of subscribers, and I can pick and choose those. I can also choose to give them a contributor access where they can add notes and highlights, or I can just give them a read only access. And I can also set an expiration date to the access of that folder. If I was to click on history at the top of my page, I can quite quickly see all of the actions that I have performed during all of my logins in the last year. So if I remember carrying out a particular action or viewing a particular document a month or so ago, I can quite quickly click on history. I can search my history. I can filter by date, and I can quite quickly retrieve the document that I once viewed. Equally, I can go into saved searches, and if I carry out a search, I can save that particular search term, and I'm able to then revisit saved searches and hit search now to carry out that search once again, but for the current date of today. So as you can see here, I carried out a search on the 4th of November called Trading Ahead, and I'm able to click on search now, and it will rerun that search, giving me anything in particular between the 4th and the 14th, so I can quite quickly see anything else that has been issued since that date. Tracker News is a way of creating a daily alert whereby you can track certain sets of content either by keyword or publication. If I click on Add and Modify Trackers, I arrive with a list of the trackers that I'm able to create. In particular, I could click on the Finra tracker And here you can see a little wheel that if I click on, it gives me options of various topics that I could choose to monitor. I could choose all of those or one or more of those, and I can even type in search terms. If I click on OK, where you can see I've checked the tracker that I'm interested in, click on Add Tracker, and it has added it to the left-hand pane of my screen. If I go into delivery options, I can set up the tracker to be emailed out to me daily, and I can quite easily switch this option off also. I can also at this point set up an RSS feed to view those trackers in my RSS reader. The link which needs to be copied is on this screen. If I now go back to the main tracker screen, you can see the tracker that I've just set up has returned 0 results, and that means nothing has been issued of today under that particular keyword that I selected. But at this point, I can also go and give it a date and say, give me anything that has appeared with that particular keyword to date. And as you can see, it's returned me 17 documents, and they all feature here. If you chose not to receive this by email, you can always log into the system and view your tracker information as I have just done here. And again, if you click on an individual publication, it will appear and you're able to do the various workflow actions such as saving, emailing, and printing. So that covers our basic features and functionalities of complianceresourcenetwork.com. Again, I will be sending out an information sheet of all the content that we cover. I will also be sending my contact details should you have any questions as you're working through the product. And I hope you enjoy working through it. Thank you.